Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Foote. I'm the CEO of HUMBL. I'm joined by our Head of Technology and Innovation, Alfonso Sr., doing our Q4 2023 shareholder call today. Thanks for joining in. We're ticker symbol HMBL on the OTC markets. We have about an estimated 165,000 shareholders, so we hope you all tune in to see what we're going to be building out over Q4 and into the coming year for 2024. So thanks for joining in, and we'll drop you right into the shareholder call from here. Thanks. We're trying to build the best platform in the world for Web3, for verified profiles, trusted transactions, a digital wallet where you can simply trade and track and pay and store in new ways, and then partnering or working with decentralized technologies that allow you to have an immutable ledger between you and whoever else you just did a transaction with, so that you have trust and security and control over your transactions in the future, either between people or you and entities. We're built out in two business divisions, so we'll go through our consumer product line with the digital wallet and the web platform, and then also how we're applying those things on a commercial level in the white label environment. So when I say something like private sector, that means things like the Arena Football League, with whom we have a 16 to 20 team deal to roll out and be their ticketing provider across, let's say, 20 arenas. In which we will be the ticketing provider, and you'll use the wallet and things like that. Now, keep in mind, there are times where you'll go into an arena where it's not a HUMBL only arena. So we'll be partnering with them across their mobile and their web platform to refer out, where if an arena has an exclusive, like a Ticketmaster or a SeatGeek or something, HUMBL will not be displacing them in that arena. We still get paid on every ticket over the next 5 years, but it's just a different price point, so you can dig into the filings on that, and we can have other breakout calls on that. So keep in mind, it won't be a HUMBL ticketed arena owned and operated in every instance. I just want to be clear with you on that, but it's still a very exciting partnership for us, and certainly our goal is to try to accumulate more and more of those arenas, as specifically to HUMBL around the United States. Of course, we can chase business globally as well. We had a festival in Samoa, for example, where we did the ticketing. But for right now, really strong focus in the private sector on our first sports league and arena league here in the U.S. So we're really thankful that they gave us the piece of business. We're glad we could win that against the big guys, and we're looking forward to doing a great job on that over the next 5 years. And when I say the public sector side of the commercial division, it means government. So right now, we're the first government-approved digital wallet in California for a municipality, in this case, Santa Cruz County. So there's thousands of cities and counties around the country that we can go after with that white label wallet as soon as that's built and launched. And certainly we're in testing with them on that. It's going very well, so we'll give you a brief update on that as well. Okay, so HUMBL has two core product lines: a digital wallet, which again is a place where you want to come in and have your verified identity as well as your preferred payment methods, and to start to trade or track or pay or store in new ways on Web3, and then some traditional modalities in Web2, like fiat payments and things like that, which we'll go into a bit later in the call. And then secondly, we buttress that with a web platform. I think you see our tail up a little bit now around the building, just simply because we're starting to roll out product lines inside this web platform that I think can take straight on the Web2, the bigger players in Web2, where it's post a picture, leave a link, post a picture, leave a comment. Again, they have great scale, and who knows how many of their users are real, but they have great scale, right? People clearly have a need to post a picture and leave a comment, and that's great. And so we're not knocking Twitter and Reddit and those guys for being able to post a picture and leave a comment. But what you'll see going into Web3 on more powerful engines like HUMBL is that we will have things like compound posts offered on HUMBL, where you'll be able to post more things in one post. So it's essentially what you're getting is your own mini landing page or your own mini website, if you will, where you can start to do these compound posts of multiple modalities: stills, videos, voice, links, etc. So we really encourage you guys to get on there and start beating it up as much as possible. If you're a Pro Plus user, you can get in there, get early access to it. create groups, create channels. You know, if I had, I wish we had time to get to all the leads that you guys send us on, hey, I have this sports group, I have this regional group, I have, you know, this agency, this corporation, this government that I think could use HUMBL services in new ways beyond, you know, a Facebook group or a Nextdoor group or whatever people are using on Web 2. So we're really excited now today, and you'll see it with the demo with Senior, for folks to be able to start to do really, really cool things that I think meet or exceed whatever's out there on Web 2 as a social platform. So I'm really hoping that you guys as shareholders can be a really powerful referral engine and community and tribe for HUMBL to start building groups, start inviting communities, start leaving posts, start direct messaging each other. You know, anything beyond the troll set on Discord is highly valued for growing our brand. So I'm excited that we're actually the platform that's going to provide that solution to the global markets. Okay, so a big kind of elephant in the room from the earlier days of HUMBL is social payments, right? We've always had the commitment that we wanted to ship, even though it's a largely Web 2 functionality that Venmo and PayPal have had out there for a while. Over the previous decades, we still want to work back into that traditional tech stack and make sure you guys have it. You know, I set some of you on your heels in a very early shareholder call when I said, if us delivering fiat payments is a critical time frame for you to sell the stock. And I had so many people call me and go, I can't believe a CEO would say to sell the stock if we're not getting fiat payments fast enough. And I just said, that's the deal. It's a complex category, right? You have PayPal and Western Union having paid so many fines over the years because they just didn't have something right on the licensure or the regulatory. They had unverified users doing lottery scams or phishing scams or things like that. So we really wanted to be thoughtful about that, get that right. We don't have the loose capital that Web 2 enjoyed to be able to plow through those fines and that kind of thing, nor would we want to do so ethically. So we took our time. We're getting it right. This is our, you know, it's our next ascent of trying to get it done this time. So thank you for your patience. It's something we've wanted to ship for a long time. And it's, you know, obviously been something that's top of mind for us to get it right. It's just, there's a lot of complex moving parts when you deal with 50 states and people's money and banks and banking collapses and crypto collapses and all the stuff. So it is something we've always wanted to do. We're still not putting a time frame on it, but I can tell you with confidence, you know, that we've gone through the process of getting the banking approvals. We've gone through the process of sharing design screens and are moving to the next phase of, you know, who handles the KYC and compliance pieces of the customer and so on. So this is very well underway, and I appreciate Senior's job leading that out with our partners. And if they stay the course, we will too, and we look forward to shipping that out here going forward. So very happy to say that we are on track and sort of halfway up the mountain on our next attempt at doing this. It's something that we promise to the market, and we want to make sure we get it done. I also think it's going to be a killer feature because you can just go to someone, and it's not, here's Web3, let me take 10 minutes to explain to you about the blockchain and stuff. It's just, hey, send me a payment on that instead of Venmo. So we'll start in really like simple places, domestic market here in the United States, couple select countries in LATAM and Asia to test. So we're going to still start slow and get it right and so on, but we're going to try to make this super slick versus the very small handful of competitors that do this in the United States, and then scale out globally to the remittance markets. I think we'll come in very competitive on pricing and so on versus some of the legacy guys, especially those with physical locations and so on in other markets where you can move to the digital format. So we're really appreciative of the partners that are stepping us up to help us serve this business. I think they see how much reach we have with you guys on the customer base side, and we're really excited to dig in and deliver a killer product here. So provided all the players in the room stay constant, we will get this shipped out. Secondly, really excited and proud to show you guys our social media platform. I think this is going to be unlike anything that's out there in the market on the big Web 2 guys. This will give you the ability to do a lot of stuff that you guys have requested. on Humble Social and a heck of a lot more as well. So, since day one, we've come on and said we want to give you a Web3 platform where you'll be able to do really synthetic things with other people. Send a payment, create a post, share ideas, create groups and channels, and do commerce. So that's just what we're passionate about delivering. It's something that, I've obviously staked all my money, time, and reputation on over the last few years to try to get the thing done. And I think we have the team in place now to be able to do it. It's such a reward for me to have someone on my left that I can throw the ball to on the technical and innovation side to be able to deliver that, right? Like, I've always felt that one of the greatest strengths of Humble is the brand, the product vision, and you guys as shareholders and community builders and customers that are ready to take a simple but really cool and really disruptive platform out into the marketplace. So it's our job to deliver that, and I think as long as tech keeps over-delivering, which they do, on a very underrated budget versus Silicon Valley, which they do, we will have something really special here at Humble on the technology side. And so we're really proud to be proposing these innovations to the market for right now and the coming decades. So please help us grow this, test it, scale it very rapidly. We are also using today the Humble Chat product line. So it's really cool. I gotta say, like, I've been able to touch base face to face with some shareholders. So I've stayed out of the Discord on Humble or other things, and it's just such a reward to be able to open up something on a Saturday or a Sunday or a weekday that has Humble in the upper left. You have shareholders or customers staring right back at you in real time with great vivid quality and so on, and just make the connection. It gets us out behind these fake personas and profiles of Web2 and some of the nasty dialogue and so on that we have. Like, we have a really special community at Humble, and I'm hoping you all can use this to connect with each other in really new ways. Certainly we'll have some subscription sides to this to drive a bunch of revenue for the company. Hopefully, you never know how that's going to go, but hopefully we can use these as a revenue stair step for the company. I think the live and video chat stuff comes in, significantly cheaper than some of the webinar pieces. You look at some of the webinar pricing stacks from Zoom, and they're getting a lot of money. And so we're keen to take this out on the enterprise side to do the webinar piece as well. So look for some additional kind of escalated pricing stacks for the webinar side of this. And again, I hope we can leverage how special the Humble community is. Everybody you meet, when you say, oh, we got an estimated 165,000 shareholders and, X, Y, and Z on social media and so on, it's great, right? We have an amazing set of people who are super long the company, who are loyal to the brand. We have incredibly funny and silver-tongued trolls that add to the community as well, that are super sharp guys as well in their own way. So we just have this crazy, weird community, and so I hope we can leverage that and have some fun with it on social and be good to each other, but also build something really special. So what you see here is not only the chat, but then the social inside the chat. Obviously, we've simulated that image of like Marab or someone to indicate to you guys that we will be thinking about things like Q&As and authentic signings and special guests and stuff that will join us from the realm of sport or politics, etc. Business, excuse me. Okay, so now getting into the commercial segment of the presentation. Again, we talked about on the front end, private sector and public sector. So what you're seeing right here is way too many sleepless nights for the guy on my left and others building out the AFL mobile app, as well as the web platform and the ticketing stack. So as I was saying to you at the beginning, yes, super exciting, grouping of consumer features that are being provided around verified profiles, wallets, payments, search engine, web platform. Taking that, applying it in the white label main to things like the AFL, where we have a 5-year revenue bearing agreement on every ticket that gets sold. Again, escalating differently. If we have to go in and do the owned and operated piece on a Humble venue, we get paid more per ticket on that than if we're referring out to Ticketmaster to an arena around our country that's maybe Ticketmaster or SeatGeek or something like that. So we'll be going into the season next year, starting to think about how many more venues Humble can acquire based on cash and bandwidth and all the stuff. But I think there's a real opportunity for us to take some ground on not just some of the arenas that we will be servicing for Humble in our own way, but also other arenas and other leagues and other sports teams taking the same stack and getting it out into the sales environment and getting paid on every ticket, every merchandise sold. There's many different transactional ways that we can frame up our technology for partners and to drive revenue on behalf of our shareholders and our company. Here also you have kind of a sneak peek of, and again, some of these screens are not, these are just, these are used for purposes of presentation. So some of it may change and so on. I just want to make sure you understand that. But here's kind of the first look at, what a county wallet will look like here in the state of California. So again, taking the same fundamentals of, I'm a verified person, I want to go wallet to wallet, with the government in this case, to be able to more quickly find on the Humble search platform the transaction I need to do, commemorate that, and come back again and do it quickly again next year. So this is a great, augmentation of a front door from government. I think government will look great, collecting more revenues, presenting a really easy face to do business with to its citizens. But at the same time, you're giving the citizen great control and efficiency of their own life in the interactions that they have to make with government. So we hear so many stories around the US about, I had to drive here and pay $60 to get this birth certificate or this, marriage certificate or whatever it is, or this permit to do, my food truck or whatever. So our goal is to take thousands of transactions a day around our country, put them into a powered by Humble wallet for you in the area you live in, and be able to do things faster in a more authenticated, controlled way for you, so that you can do it and come back again next year and do it again. So I think it'll be great for government because they get a great front door, easy to do business with, and also a much more seamless, experience for the consumer and the citizen. So again, there's a lot of pride that goes into us on our side because I think we're thinking through what the future can look like and trying to build it for you guys. Okay, in terms of product roadmap, again, we don't want to miss on timelines, so we've kept it a little bit nebulous here, but are committed to this feature set. So you're seeing the demos today of Humble Chat. We're doing this call on Humble Chat instead of Zoom. And then you're seeing Humble Social. So Senior will give you a deep dive. Kevin Connor also did a product tour as well that will go up on YouTube, where he just kind of took his approach and showed a bunch of things that you can do on Humble Social in terms of all the features versus Twitter or Reddit or Facebook. So he did that, and that'll be up on YouTube as well. So Humble Social, Humble Chat, you're seeing these things today. Government wallet, we remain in beta testing with Santa Cruz in a very tight format there with a small group at Santa Cruz, beating that up, but excited to get that into the market and to go out on the sales front and offer our services, our wallet, our turnkey wallet to many thousands of cities and counties that are out there as potential customers. Our business model would be to get paid on every transaction. So just like the credit card guys did in the 50s and 60s, right, that we still do today, where they get paid on every credit card transaction. Same thing. We'll look to get a little piece of the action on every transaction. We still think we can reduce costs and improve efficiencies for our citizens, but also find a way to make some money for Humble so we can keep the lights on and grow total pie on the revenue side to drive shareholder value. The AFL wallet, we showed you that. That's underway as well. So we showed you some quick pick screens of that. So that's been done there. Expect that to come out and certainly be into arenas by next April. And then fiat payments, of course, is something that we are actively working on with our partners to get that shipped as well. So thanks for bearing with us on giving us another ascent on that one. Again, we continue to be one of the most followed stocks on social media and Web3, second only to Coinbase on some of these metrics we looked at. So thanks for your continued support. We're doing good volume on the stock. We have a bunch of shareholders. Last we checked, the last Novo we looked at was from July. So that's a July number. Hopefully it's more now. Who knows? We'll find out more. We're going to order another Novo here this week. And try to do some more ways of reaching out to people and so on to connect further with our shareholders now that we have these killer tool sets to connect even more deeply with you guys in these formats. So thanks again for your support out there, and hopefully much more to come as HUMBL rolls out this V12 social engine. I'm saying that hypothetically, like a highly powered social engine. So. Okay, in terms of market sizing, I mean, you look at what we're doing. We're trying to do one example that can scale out pretty significantly. So very happy to have landed a 5-year revenue-bearing deal with the AFL on every transaction. And bandwidth contingent, we will go out and try to sell many more stadiums and teams and leagues. When we're given the rope and the time to go and sell and are confident that we have the technology bandwidth to deliver behind it, I'll put us up against anybody in sales in the field. We just need to continue to get the technology and funding bandwidth to deliver when we close those sales. Same thing on the public sector. If you look at total pie, there's thousands of cities and counties around the world that we can serve with the white label wallet, starting first here in the US with a deep focus. But certainly we have great access to other leaders around the world that will look at our stuff and see if we can't give it a go. So excited to be rolling out that as a first here in California, and hopefully much more to come on scaling that out over time, depending on our sales and technology bandwidth, which I hope continues to expand. So again, total market sizing. I mean, I think we have a very clear look at going after the pie. It's just a matter of execution on the technology and the sales. And then, of course, the key UVPs and benefits, digital wallets, cybersecurity, personal control, data control, improved transactions, efficiency, speed, lower fees. There's just so many different selective disclosure. There's just so many ways in which software can eat the world if it's built correctly. And I like what we're doing at HUMBL across both Web 2 and then migrating people into Web 3 to use some of these technologies. So we will wake up every day and build more of them into what we're doing and hopefully make that easy enough for people to adopt and get moving on. Okay, just kind of nitty gritty stuff. I'm the CEO of the company. Obviously I put in my time on the education side. I did an 18-month program for global leadership at Yale recently that improved our network, I think, from an executive level on the government leadership side and the business leadership side. So very happy to be a part of that and continue the growth of that network and so on. So I feel fortunate to have had a decent education and to be applying that to something I care about. So thank you for that opportunity. Burn rate is down 300,000 a month or so, let's call it 250 to 300. So we've deeply tightened the belt on that. I'm stunned always about what the guys and gals are able to accomplish on like a super low budget. If you look at what they blow through in Silicon Valley, it's just wild what we're achieving for this burn rate. So thank you to our team for tightening the belt. I also have never sold a share of stock and put a lot of expenses on the personal card and don't take a salary. So it's not been lucrative for the founders yet, but I hope we have the last laugh there on bringing this home for you guys, because we'll win too if that happens. In terms of historical revenues, please note, yes, we had good revenue growth year over year, but this goes away, right? As we've divested and gotten rid of the subsidiaries, we are moving to organic revenue. So we want to monetize the social, the payments, the subscription services, the AFL, the government wallet, the ticketing wallet. So please note, this historical revenue goes away, and now the company's big move is to organic revenues, on the transactional side, the subscription revenue side, and the contractual side. So it'll be a pivot, but it's something where if we can own our revenue stack and grow it, I believe we will earn your continued value as shareholders. Lastly, just want to give some notes about the company securing funding. So this is an eye chart, and just read the PR in the morning. Our law firms go to great lengths of writing this with surgical clarity, so I don't want to muck it up with a bunch of adjectives. So I'll just let you read that, but the sort of the takeaway, the cliff notes of it are that the business has enough money to operate for the next 6 months. So I can't remember a night I didn't go to bed panicked about money over the last year with the crypto collapse, the banking collapse. It was a hellscape in terms of market headwinds over the last year. Stocks were going down, especially tech, and the big winners were sort of the only safe spots for a while from Web 2. So it's nice to see the capital markets finding themselves again. We're appreciative to Pacific Lion. Jacob Fernandez is as smart a guy as you want to meet on the market. So I'm hoping he can join the Sunday Humble chat, which will be unaffiliated with the company, but there's going to be a community chat on Sunday nights. And I told him you should get Jacob on there and he can explain, why he's gone long on the company and what he sees in the company and so on. You see all these guests go on CNBC and explain why they've taken a position or gone long on a company. And so on. So I'd love for him to join the community and explain why he's taking a leadership position in us and the business here at this juncture and over the long term. And he's tucked a lot of his go forward success into us achieving an uplist on a national exchange, which I like. So we'll go around to different folks and get them, sell them into converting into these C's where that looming threat of hitting the market in its current state will be tied off for a bit there with the C's. So we really looked back and contemplated our previous share structure, things we got right and wrong, and so on. So I think you'll see a lot more rigor around Humble if we do achieve our next step goals on the capital markets of moving up to an NYSE or a NASDAQ or others. So we're thankful for Pacific Lion to do that. Please assess for yourself and read all the details of that in the PR. That should go out tomorrow morning. So just wanted to provide some details there. But as a CEO and a founder that has everything bet on a company, it's just nice to see that you're going to have some funding coming in to run the business and to scale it, especially with these critical products coming online and hopefully so much scaling ahead of us with these new products in our bag. And then we continue to do partnerships and marketing. As you all have seen, sometimes, we just get really lucky with who we get to be affiliated with. So I want to specifically thank Balanchi Group down in Texas. They've been amazing. When their athletes sign with us, their athletes do what they say they're going to do with Humble. It's hard to get, left at the altar by athletes or whatever, where you're not going to take a run at them in public that they stood you up. But just because you want to do business with other guys in other leagues. But in this case, we've been so thankful for, our Humble Fight team fighters, some of these guys, Major League Baseball guys like Cabrian, our hometown San Diego State Aztecs, with whom we had a great run to the Final Four. Julius and his group down in Samoa for giving us the opportunity to ticket what they believe will be the hallmark festival of the Oceania region for many years. Trevor, who does some stuff for us in the NCAAs with football, is a rock star for the Gators. His brother had a big weekend this weekend, and I think you'll see Trevor having big weekends on Sundays as well. And then just folks from the music environment, NASCAR, Xfinity, World Rugby. We had a wonderful run to the finals with Samoa there as their partner. And then certainly stepping up into revenue on every transaction relationships like the AFL. So I've been just consistently excited about folks that maybe take less money or whatever to get involved with Humble versus these big brands that spray money around. So we're really thankful for that. And the more we can scale that into transactions and revenue, like the AFL, the better. So we'll continue to do marketing where it makes sense for the company from an ROI standpoint in this regard. So that's Q4. We've got some amazing stuff ahead in social and payments and chat, using our own products just to host this call and so on. So thank you all for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to represent you. I'm constantly humbled by the amount of support we have out in the market around the country and in some cases around the world. So thank you for that. And then with that, I'll turn it over to Alfonso Sr., who will be giving you a deep dive demo of Humble Social. And then I think he's going to have Patrick and Andrew say hi as well and talk about what they're going to do just as a community-led thing on Sundays on Humble Chat. I'm not sure if that got worked out, but either way, Senior will provide you guys with an awesome demo of Humble Social. Again, these are guys who put in, like, literally, they don't sleep. It's crazy what he's doing on so little budget and so on. So big thank you to that. I can't tell you how much confidence. I'm 3 inches taller when I have the tech team behind me to deliver what we're proposing to the market at great scale. So thanks, Senior, for that, and I'll turn it over to you and your show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us. I know that there's some issues with some of the iOS devices. We did a last-minute upgrade, and that last-minute upgrade caused some privacy issues with some of the iOS devices. We are working with Apple to try and get that resolved. Again, very sorry for that.
Well, we'll post on YouTube.
It is the video is being recorded. It will be on YouTube. I did not record the first few minutes of it on accident because I was trying to get things set up. But the rest of the video will be live on YouTube. I want to let everyone know that for all Pro Plus users, if they go right now to humble.com and they click on their avatar, they'll see Humble Social Preview, and it'll bring them here to Humble Social Preview. It uses your same exact wallet, so as soon as you connect with your wallet, you'll be right into the new Humble Social 2.0. As we talked about previously about Humble Social 2.0 on the last call, a lot of new features, a lot of things that the community has been asking for is delivered here in this product. So very excited for that. The ability to create what are called compound posts, where you can do very cool posts so we'll look at some of the posts that Kevin has done. For NFC, you can have a picture, you can have a poll behind it. If you wanted to add buttons, say, okay, I want to go buy tickets to this fight right now, you would be able to do that. So what we really wanted to do was make sure that we gave people an environment to where they can control their own brand, much like the whole thesis of Humble Pro. So now, not only having your Pro page, but now you can essentially create a mini landing page that you can control your brand with. So you can sell products, you can put videos, you can put audio, a really robust tool set there. Everyone was asking about groups. So now in Humble Social, we've created different groups. Within those groups, you can have different channels. People can join those channels. If you're not a member of a group, then you won't see it on your feed as you enter social. If you are a member of the group, you will. On your calendar, as you enter the calendar, you can see events here. These are events that people can actually buy tickets to. People can attend the events online. And as Brian mentioned, we'll have events with athletes. We'll have events with different musicians, things of that nature. And even the community can do their own events, and they can be paywalled events. They can govern the access to the events by membership, by all kinds of means. So we really wanted to give the users as much flexibility as possible in how they manage their brand and manage their own pro page. Sorry, as I'm looking at the screen and not my computer, the refresh time's a little different. But featured posts at the very top. So there's many ways that the platform can be either gamified or for users to want to interact more with the platform. We will continue to add more features to the platform as it develops. Right now, the preview state is exactly that, a preview. So we ask that you guys help us work on the preview, tell us what areas need improvement. I'm sure we'll find some bugs in it. We'll get them worked through. Just like today, we discovered the issue with the iOS. But we'll work as quickly as possible to get those items resolved. On the YouTube channel now, there'll be a video, a larger tutorial, a 12-minute tutorial that'll walk people through all aspects of the Humble Social Preview. So very excited for that as well. And then I did want to talk a brief moment about one of the biggest complaints that we've heard is the process of onboarding and KYC. So internally, we've had a lot of discussions about this. And as we roll out peer-to-peer, KYC becomes more and more important. So we will be bringing on 2 additional partners for KYC. One of those partners already has over 17 million members. And since they already have 17 million members, if you are a member of that partner, you can come to the site, click on the icon, verify on your phone, just simply look into the camera, and it'll verify you, authenticate you, and it's that simple to get on the platform. No longer a need to pull out your identification and verify it. So we have heard that request, and we are doing everything we can to simplify that. The goal is to have the new KYC providers live this quarter. It is a bit of a process to onboard a KYC company, but we're through the majority of that already. Did want to talk a brief moment about the peer products because we've been really excited about it. It's been something that you've all asked for a long time. And as Brian mentioned, we're pretty far along in the process with our partner. We've already gone through all of the design phases for the wallet. So it'll integrate directly into the current Humble wallet. So now with the current Humble wallet, you'll have access to not only crypto payments, but also fiat payments. So we're really excited for that. It'll take a little bit of time to build out, but what that'll open up in terms of usability of the product is great. And also, as we bring on those different KYC providers, not only in the US, but also global. So we are bringing on KYC providers for other regions, for other countries. So that'll also help onboard a lot of people and give us the ability to offer products in other countries as well.
Yeah, and I think it's also like, it's not humble or nothing, right? Like meaning people have multiple social profiles. So if you really like doing anonymous stuff on Twitter or whatever, that's fine. But you may, I think over time, want to have a verified profile on a social media platform as well at Humble. So you can do transactions in your wallet, like send a verified payment, maybe even as a bigger amount, you need to send a proper remittance home to a family member, or something like that. You're going to want to do it on a verified platform where there's not, 3 different fake profiles that you're sending the money to. So I don't view this as a humble or nothing situation. It's really just use Humble as a way to have verified interactions, transactions, commerce, storage, payments, etc. So that's how we want you to see Humble. And I think many, many people will find it to be a breath of fresh air versus talking with a clown mask on Twitter. So I'm not saying don't use Twitter. I think there's lots of value to Twitter, real-time news, some of the other things that people use it for. It's incredible. So it's not a knock. I'm just saying I think Humble will provide a unique niche for people that want to do verified transactions, because all of a sudden that actually is your neighbor that you're talking to. That actually is someone that left a proper rating about a repairman or a place they stayed in Thailand or whatever. So use this as a trust architecture platform where you can do faster transactions with better visibility and trust architecture.
It's unfortunate and it's sad that we see a lot of people, we left polls open just so people can actually communicate. And since this platform that we're using right now, we did not enforce verification, we see a lot of people that are doing, obnoxious stuff. They're doing stuff that's inappropriate. And it's unfortunate, but it really proves the point. It really proves the value prop on why having a verified platform is so important. Now, when you have a verified profile on a platform such as Humble, and you do want to do a financial transaction, it's very simple to do that. If you want to sell something and have it be verified or authenticated, very simple to do that. as you need to start gaining access to different areas. If your wallet can prove you are who you say you are, gives you certain additional levels of access. So we'll see a lot of key benefits and features in this. We've heard CEOs of the other platforms talk about the importance of this. And sure, they have a lot more users than we do, but for them to turn all their users into verified users is a pretty big lift. So we started off with only verified users, and that I think is advantageous to us. And I also believe that as these features start releasing and people start utilizing the platform for their brand, for their personal brand, for their business, all of the value props of having that become that much more valuable. As government starts adopting the technology, whether it be with us or whoever they adopt it with, the technology will come on board. You know, verifiable credentials, a lot of the technologies, blockchain, a lot of it's open source. And if you look at things that use open source technology, those that use the Macintosh computer, the OS and the iOS all derive from an open source Unix version that came out of Berkeley, BSD, Berkeley Standard Distribution. So we will see that a lot of not only open standards, but open source become applied. And then it's what other features you add is who I think will become the leader. So the more features we add, the more value props we add, gives HUMBL a really nice advantage to be able to have better market penetration. And then as we get into working with athletes and stadiums, governments, it gives a lot more flexibility of use. But we're doing things in such a way that having open standards and a lot of the things we've implemented in the technology, if you go to Europe or other countries that implement the same technology, our products will work within their governments. Regardless of whether we're a provider for them or not, it'll work with them. And vice versa, as they come to the States, the technologies that the United States is adopting, whether it be counties, whether it be federal governments, same thing. So really important, no vendor lock-in. Everything is really going to focus on inclusion. So very excited for that.
Want to maybe show the death cab piece and go through a couple of the compound posts.
Yeah.
Feature, like just give them the full, feature demo I think it'd be great.
The video explains it probably much better than I can.
Yeah.
I think Kevin's a lot more eloquent at explaining the stuff.
That's fine.
But
let's just spin them through some features and stuff.
One of the cool things is we have a YouTube link here. You can watch the YouTube link. You can listen to the music. So if you're a musician and you want to play a little piece of your album, you can do that. And then somebody can go click right here and they can link out to wherever you're selling it. Buy tickets to your concert. They can buy your CD. You can link them to Spotify to sign up to Spotify. So there's so many different possibilities that you can do there that it becomes really cool. As I mentioned earlier, you're essentially building a mini landing page. And this mini landing page, you can do all sorts of things from, you can record your own voice and have your own voice on there. And it becomes really advantageous because it doesn't require any coding ability to do it. So you don't have to hire a developer to do it. All the buttons are there. It's very easy, very intuitive. The interface is very easy to use.
Yeah, and I also, like, to Senior's point, I think what's great about HUMBL and will pay off long-term for us is we got an opportunity to build on a clean root system. So you're building roots of the tree that allow you to grow up around your audience, wallet to wallet. So there really isn't a platform out there like this where you can do compound posts of still images, videos, links, ticket sales, community building, groups, channels, rooms, all that kind of thing that you want to be able to do on a social media standpoint, but you're also connected wallet to wallet with another person to be able to do those peer transactions and so on. So I think what you're going to see is when you look at Web 2, you're going into all these different silos to accomplish different tasks, right? You have the username, the password, the credit card, hopefully retarget you with an email to refer and recur. It's very loose, the shopping cart, all that stuff. So what's cool about Web 3 is, and what we built at HUMBL is you come in once, you verify yourself, you get a wallet, and that's your backpack to Web 3 to be able to trade and track and store and post and pay. So it really gets fun here, and I hope you guys can put this, into your daily life. Start to use it for your own purposes. Certainly network it out on behalf of the brand, and try stuff out. If you break something, let us know. Like tonight, we're having trouble with Apple devices on mobile. Got it. Like Senior was working on that all night last night. It will get fixed. That's why we put ourselves out there where we go, hey, we're launching the product today in real time live with people. Okay, well, something's going to go wrong. Today it's that the Apple mobile didn't go as well as we wanted. We knew that coming in. We'll put out a message midday like we did that said, please watch tonight on the desktop or an Android or whatever. And we'll fix it. Like that'll get fixed, and we'll move on to the next thing. So we are a very open book on saying, look, we're going to be accountable about presenting the tech to you guys. We think it kicks ass. Beat it up for us. Show us where we missed and won. I really hope you guys can build this out with us as quickly as possible, but also show us what we need and what we need to do. I told you that in January. I said, we're going to launch a social media platform that's kind of the first properly verified social media platform out there. And you're going to want things that we're missing. And you did. Like you wanted DMs, you wanted compound posts, multimedia posts, transactional elements. And here we are. And within the same calendar year, we're delivering all of that. So thank you for, trusting us with your feedback, that if you give it to us and it's a great idea and you need it to drive commerce for us and for yourself, or audience, we will go and get it built if it makes sense for the business. So really cool to see this coming online. And I hope you see that progression, right? Every year we try to get better. So you want Patrick and Andrew?
Yep. Do you want an intro?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks again, Senior. I mean, just incredible amount of work, man. It's just wild. Okay, so Patrick and Andrew, we'd like to bring you guys up if you want to hop on camera. Or just go straight to the slides. No problem. No mics, no camera. Are they able to?
Can you hear me? Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. Sorry, we were muted. We were muted. But you're good.
So guys, we wanted to just hand this off where this is not a Humble thing. Like Humble Nation wanted to have a podcast on Sunday nights. Patrick and Andrew are super bright guys. I think they'll bring a different perspective. Like I said, I was already getting, texts from our lead funder about more than willing to hop on there and talk different dimensions of, why you took a position in Humble or what's going on in the market or whatever. So this is not a Humble thing. We will only be on there if we are invited as guests to answer questions or whatever. Or as listeners, I don't know, maybe we'll listen once in a while, but we want to just kind of, just give you guys the tool set, the platform, and the tech and get out of the way. So Andrew and Patrick hit us up and said, we missed the days where Humble used to get together on stuff, and now we have a more multi-dimensional product to do that than maybe some of the other guys on social media. So here you go. So Patrick and Andrew are just going to kind of introduce what they're going to do on Sunday nights. But that's their show, and we're only affiliated with our support. Once in a while, we'll give them tickets or something to give away to people, or some merch or something. But that's it. It's not a paid for show by the company. It's not anything other than we'd love to see the community connect with each other, and it's your guys' show. We'll go on mute. Thanks for doing this.
Yep. Thanks, Brian. And thanks for letting us showcase the technology on Sundays as well. So Andrew and I thought it would be a great idea. As Brian said, we're not affiliated with the company whatsoever. We're not compensated. We're just investors like you folks. We thought it'd be a great idea to do some knowledge transfer sessions and really get into what's happened in the past week in Humble and do it using this Humble chat. So we're going to run it every Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. And Andrew, I'll just get you to introduce yourself as well. I know you're not going to be on camera for this one.
My name is Andrew. We wanted to do this podcast basically like what Patrick said, just to inform investors and see what's going on with Humble. The name was Humble Happenings, and we shortened it to the H2 podcast for brevity. And looking forward to interacting with you guys.
Yeah, great. And I think our format's going to be starting with news. We'll dive into filings. No doubt with the news tomorrow, there will be a filing. So we do have someone from the community that's well respected that will be helping us with the dissemination of the filings to share with you folks and kind of simplify things a little bit. Also with Humble Social 2.0 or HS2, it will be having more features daily. So we would like to kind of describe those as well on a weekly basis. We'd like to touch on some partner updates, especially surrounding the AFL. There's a lot of teams coming online. So to research maybe their coaching, their management, how many seats their stadium has, where they're located, and kind of give a synopsis of that every week, I think would be advantageous to investors, especially because that is tied to revenue. And also the Santa Cruz County, if they do have a meeting that's related to Humble, not everybody can attend those digital meetings. So to give those summaries as well every week. Also, as Brian mentioned, special guests, we would like to talk to Jacob from Pacific Lion and kind of get his motivations for why he invested in Humble, and even other members of the community that may want to share their thoughts as well. Alongside that, we will be taking questions from you folks. We'll be doing polling, hopefully not so lewd as this evening, but we'll be doing polling as well. Maybe you want to see some functionality in Humble Social 2.0 that you would like the team to implement, so we can discuss that. And then finally, some giveaways. Also, that would be for verified users only. So that's sort of what we want to accomplish every Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. We will be having another social profile just for the podcast. So look for that in the coming week to ask some questions and do some polls too as well. So thanks, Brian, and thanks, Senior, for letting us use your platform to do our podcast.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, thanks.
Cool. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining in. We're going to be doing this a lot more throughout the quarter now that we have the product out. The iPhone stuff will get resolved, so we'll get that going. We'll post this as a recording along with the deck in the newsroom, so you can read it at your own leisure there. And then the PR in the morning will explain more of the financing and so on. So thanks for tuning in. We'll keep testing out the product on further live chats and so on, and then scaling up into the live and the webinar product for sale into the market here pretty soon. So thanks again for joining in. It's going to be a great quarter, and we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next Humble Chat. Thanks.